Hello everybody, welcome to my presentation on three-phase energy meter. In this presentation we are going to see the construction and working of three-phase energy meters, both two-element and three-element three-phase energy meters. I am Swati Palasa, lecturer in Electrical and Electronics Engineering, Sanjay Gandhi Government Polytechnic, Adilabad. Let us understand the prerequisites of the video lecture. So the listener should have the knowledge of construction and working of single phase energy meter already. So we can see for a quick revision of a single phase energy meter, this is induction type energy meter. We have two electromagnets. One is M-shaped electromagnet, which has a pressure coil for the central limb, and U-shaped electromagnet which carries current coil, and pressure coil is excited by current which is proportional to the voltage across the voltage across the terminals of pressure coil. Here you can see the pressure coil is connected across AC supply which is connected to the load, which means the pressure coil current is proportional to the load voltage or supply voltage. And we can see that the current coil is connected in series with the load. So this is how the current coil is in series with the load. So it is proportional to the current through the load. And so we have this rotating because of reaction between eddy current produced by the pressure coil and EMF flux of the current coil, and similarly flux of the pressure coil and eddy currents produced by the current coil. And hence you will have aluminum disc rotating, and you have braking torque produced by braking magnet here. And we need to have the flux produced by the pressure coil to lag the voltage across the pressure coil by 90 degrees, and it is adjusted by help of these copper shading bands. And we have a support system like pivot support system, pivot and bearing support system here we have at the bottom. And at the top of the shaft, you can see it is connected to recording mechanism where you will have a train of gears attached to the top of the shaft so that we can record the readings. So if we try to recollect the number of electromagnets in the single phase energy meter, they are, so there will be two electromagnets. So after having a quick revision on single phase induction type energy meter, let us go to the next slide on three phase energy meter. It consists of two or three elements. So what is element here? Element means one single phase energy meter unit. So we are going to have one single phase energy meter unit. So one single phase energy meter will have two electromagnets, and you will have disc mounted attached to the shaft. We are going to have shading coil for shunt adjustments, and we'll have aluminum disc, and to the circumference of the disc there will be a braking magnet arranged. So this is what we have seen in the previous slide. There. So like this arrangement, we are going to have, this arrangement is what we call as element. So we can have two element three phase energy meter, That means the three-phase energy meter will have two such type of arrangements. So such type of elements. It can, or we can also have three elements. That means three single-phase energy meter unit arrangements. The energy meter of an N conductor system requires N minus 1 measuring elements for measurement of energy. What does it mean is, if suppose we have three wire system, that means three conductors are there in the system. So to measure energy of such system, we require 3 minus 1 measuring elements, which means two elements are sufficient to measure energy for such system. If suppose you have 4-wire system, then 3 element is sufficient. So if we try to discuss, for 3-phase systems, we can have 3-phase 3-wire system and 3-phase 4-wire system. For a 3-phase 3-wire system, we will have 3 wires for R phase, Y phase and B phase. For 3-phase 4-wire system, we are going to have additional wire or conductor for neutral. So it is best suitable for distribution actually, where we are going to have star connected secondary with neutral wire. So that for domestic purpose, each house will be provided by R to neutral supply. So there we go for 3 element energy meters. So a 3-phase 3-wire system requires 2 element energy meters. 3-phase 4-wire system maybe for industries. So this is for distribution, where for industries, if they want this kind of a system, we have to arrange a 3-phase 3-element energy meter. Let us see the construction of 3-phase 2-element energy meter first. So you can see the arrangements here. This is a M-shaped, of course it is not completely drawn. So this should be an M-shaped electromagnet. So this should be one electromagnet where we have pressure coil in the central limb, and we have a copper shading bands here, one, and here another copper shading band, two. So if we discuss about a single element here, this element have one electromagnet excited by pressure coil, another electromagnet excited by current coil, we have a disc, and we have a braking magnet. So, and also we have another element with same one electromagnet, second electromagnet, aluminum disc and brake magnet. Now the aluminum disc of second unit and aluminum disc of first unit both have common shaft. So both are mounted on a common shaft. That is very important point to note. Now if we see the connections here, we have R phase, and R phase is given to the current coil and then to R phase, and that means the current coil is excited by IR, current through R line, and the pressure coil is excited by RY. So voltage between R and Y phase, that means line voltage. Similarly, if we see the second element, the current coil is excited by IB, that means B phase current, and voltage is applied is voltage Y B. So it is Ry and here it is By. So you can see. We have already seen the same kind of a concept for a wattmeter, same kind of connection for wattmeter for measurement of three-phase power using 2 wattmeters. There you must have seen similar kind of a connection, but here the aluminum discs of 2 units or elements are mounted on a same shaft. And we have brake magnets here. Now here this type of 2-element energy meters is used for 3-phase, 3-wire system. It is very important to note. This is same 3-phase, 2-element energy meter. You can see another view. So R, Y is given to the pressure coil and R current is given to the current coil. So Y is a common line and we have B current through B line through the current coil of second element, and pressure coil is excited by current due to voltage VBY. And these are braking magnets for 2 elements separately and 2 discs separately, but are mounted on a common shaft. So 2 aluminum discs mounted on same common spindle. Each disc has its own braking magnet. A gear train is driven by common spindle. Just like a single phase energy meter, for 3-phase energy meter also, we will have a gear train which is given by the common spindle or common shaft. The shading rings are provided for each unit. You can see the shading coils are provided for each unit for the central limb of electromagnet, which is excited by current through pressure coil. An adjustable magnetic shunt is provided across one or both the shunt magnets. So both the shunt magnets can be adjusted. We can adjust the shunt magnet either one or both. So that means we have an arrangement for that. We have 2 separate pressure coils connected in parallel. So here, there is an important point to be noted. And let us see what is that important point. Before going to that, we will see again the connection of 3-phase 2-element energy meter, internal arrangement of 3-phase 2-element energy meter. So you have the shaft. You can see that the shaft is common for both the discs. So this is one disc and this is another disc. And we can see that there is a electromagnet here. This is one arrangement and this is another arrangement. So for this arrangement, the top one is pressure coil, the bottom one is current coil. Here also you can see the top one is pressure coil, the bottom one is current coil. There is no mandate that always the top one should be a pressure coil, you can have any arrangement, but for this you have such arrangement. And we have a brake magnets here. It's not very clear, but this is a brake magnet. Here also you have a brake magnet. For this disc, you can have a brake magnet inserted in or out to control the braking torque. And let us see the connections thoroughly here, because here it is very clear with the color codes. So we can see that this is the energy meter, and energy meter has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 terminals here. So for these 6 terminals, that means this is the energy meter and this is out of the box. How we are supposed to connect? It's very simple. We have two. So two terminals are for R phase, two terminals are for Y phase, and two terminals are for B phase. So we have to simply connect one terminal which is for R phase to supply and another to the load. Similarly, for Y phase, one to supply and another to the load. And for B phase, one to supply and another to the load. So this side is load side and left side is supply side for the circuit shown. Now let us get inside the internal arrangement of two element meter. If we check the internal arrangement, we have here, we have a junction. So R phase is given to the current coil and it is connected to the load. That means it is going to the load side through this terminal. Now for here you have a junction where an R wire is going to the pressure coil, and from there you have Y wire coming out to the Y terminal. That means this pressure coil is excited by voltage between R and Y. It is clear with the color code of the Y. Coming to the other element here, the pressure coil is connected across Y phase and B phase here. This is a junction. So it is connected to the B phase. And the current coil is excited by B phase of from supply to B phase of the load. Because these are connected in series, you can see clear. So the current coil of the second element is excited by line current of B phase, and pressure coil is excited by voltage across and the current through the pressure coil only, but which is proportional to the voltage between B phase and Y phase. It is clear from this figure. And also it is clear that there are going to be two separate braking magnets for each of the elements and two separate discs for each of the elements, but the two discs are mounted on a common shaft. So this picture should show how exactly the elements are connected by common shaft. I'll give 1 minute. Please go through the slide. Now there will be a small check which is to be done for a 2-element or a 3-element 3-phase energy meter. Let us see what is that. So coming to the working of 2-element or a 3-element, it is similar to that of working of single phase energy meter, which we have discussed already, and we have already studied that from our previous video lectures. As I said that there is a small check to be done for a 2-element or a 3-element 3-phase energy meter. What is that? It should be noted that it is needful that for the same power or energy, the driving torque should be equal in the 2 elements. This is checked by torque adjustment. So we have 2 aluminum discs which are under torque produced because of first different supplies and the second one different supplies. So you should be having some torques produced by aluminum disc. Say this is 1 and this is 2. So aluminum disc 1 and aluminum disc 2. In such case, because they both are mounted on same shaft, one thing is needful, which is the torque produced by disc 1 and disc 2 should be same for same power consumption. That means if this is connected to uniform load and if we are supplying uniform power supply, that means voltage between Ry and current through IR should be equals to current through Iy should be equals to current through Ib, and voltage between VR should be equals to voltage Yb should be equals to voltage Br. For such case, the torque produced by the top element should be same as torque produced by the bottom element. That means that the disk of first element is producing the torque for same power P. For same power P, the second disk is also producing the same torque T. It is not producing some other torque. It is actually producing the same torque. So that is needed. So what check we have to do and how to check for equal driving torques of the 2 elements? So for that, the coils are energized from single phase supply. So how the coils are connected, let us see. The 2 current coils are connected in series opposition. So we are going to connect the 2 current coils in series opposition, and so this is just for testing purpose, please remember. We are discussing the connections for testing purpose. Earlier we have seen the connections for measurement purpose, but we have observed that there is one check to be done which should result that the driving torque produced by 2 discs should be same for same energy or power. To make sure that that is happening, we need to do a small check. And to do that check, we have to connect the energy meter in such a manner that the 2 current coils are to be connected in series but in opposite manner. That means they are to be connected in series opposition. And what about the 2 terminals of potential coils or pressure coils? They are to be connected in parallel. So this is the connection that we have to make. And we have to energize these coils from single phase supply. We should make sure that full load current is allowed to pass through the current coil. So we'll have current coil CC1, say you will have one direction of current, and for CC2 you will have opposite direction of current because they both are connected in phase opposition but in series. The magnitude of current through CC1 and CC2 will be same, but they will be flowing opposite current. So the torques produced should be opposite. That means the torque produced by the driving torque of disc 1 should be opposite to driving torque of disc 2. And because the current coils are connected in series, same current will be flowing, and because the pressure coils are connected in parallel, so same voltage across both of the pressure coils, which means that the power of element 1 is same as the power or energy of element 2. So the driving torque of element 1 should be same as driving torque of element 2. But because the current coils are in series opposition, the torques produced, the directions of the torque will be opposite. Okay, let me draw the same. So you have current coil CC1 will have very less number of turns. So let it be like this, CC1, and you have current coil CC2, and we have pressure coil, say PC1, and pressure coil PC2. So these are different terminals inside a three-phase two-element energy meter. So say this is the initial polarity. So for pressure coil as well as the current coil. Now how we do is we have to connect pressure coils in parallel and current coils in series. But then how we have to connect this current coil not to this polarity but to the opposite polarity like this. Now we have two terminals for current coil and two terminals for pressure coil. Now you just assume this as wattmeter single phase. So we will connect single phase supply Let me bring these connections to the side. So let me bring these connections also to the side. So these two are voltage and these two are current. So what we do is, so here we will connect it to supply. and this to the load. So we have load to supply to the load. Now if we see, the current coils are connected in series to supply as well as to the load. The pressure coils are connected in parallel to the load. This is how we have to connect. Once we connect it in this manner, we should make sure that you vary the load such that full load current will flow through the current coil. So this must be a variable load. So this should be a variable load, and we should have full load current flowing through the current coils. Now here, because the current coils are connected in phase opposition, see, actually they should be connected to this pole, then it is phase aiding, but it is opposite. So for the disc here, we'll be having opposite torque compared to the disc here. Now we should be having, also it is clear that both have same energy or power, so it should mean that this should have equal driving force as this disc. But if they are not equal, what happens? If they are equal, what happens? If they are equal, the shaft, common shaft, will not move, which indicates that the torque produced by disc 1 is equal and opposite to the torque produced by disc 2. So they both get cancelled out, and hence there is no resultant torque, and there won't be any movement in the shaft or the discs. But if you find if you find they are moving, then it indicates that there is difference between the torques produced by two discs of the same energy meter. So here, this setup causes two torques to be in opposition, and so if the torques are equal, then the disc should not move. If there is slight motion of the disc, it indicates inequality of two torques. Now, what should we do if we have inequality of two torques? So, what is the method to overcome the difference of the torque? A magnetic shunt is adjustable to a position till there is no rotation of the disc. So we will try to adjust the shunt magnets till there is no rotation of the disc. We can either adjust one or two of the elements. So the phase displacement, friction compensation, and position of the braking magnets for each element are also adjusted. So for each element, we have to adjust phase displacement, friction compensation, and position of braking magnets. Then the friction compensators and brake magnet positions are adjusted to each of two or three elements separately, treating each of them as single phase elements on single phase AC supply. So how to adjust? So we have to adjust in such a way that we have to adjust them separately. For each of the energy meter, we have to connect separate supplies, and then we have to adjust the friction compensator and brake magnet positions. So this is another thing we have to do to adjust friction compensator and brake magnet position. Now let us see three-phase, three-element energy meter. Three-phase three element energy meter is used for three-phase 4-wire system. It has three single-phase elements working on three discs mounted on single shaft. So the three discs are fixed to same spindle. The spindle is pivoted on jeweled bearing. The disc revolve in the air gap between two electromagnets. Flux due to two electromagnets produced rotating field. This is what we have seen. There will be interaction. So because of that, we'll have the disc produced. The flux due to two electromagnets produce rotating field. The three braking magnets are provided. We have three braking magnets. The torque and speed of the disc is proportional to the power. This we already know. If time is considered, number of revolutions are proportional. Number of revolutions is proportional to the energy. Adjustment of power factor and friction is done by shading bands, which is connected to the central limb of one electromagnet, which carries the pressure coils. The spindle is geared by chain of wheels. This is for recording purpose. The registered mechanism indicated the energy supplied through the meter. So we have indication by registered mechanism. This registered mechanism, it can be worm wheel, we have already seen, but for three-phase, we can have a dial window type of display unit or recording mechanism through gear. We'll see the circuit. There we can see an internal arrangement and connection diagram of three-phase, three-element energy meter. You can see that this is one element, this is another element, and this is another element. So we have one element, second element, third element. And we see that this one element having pressure coil on top, current coil at bottom. This is pressure coil. This is current coil of first element. This is disc, and there you go for braking magnet. And for this also we have pressure coil here, current coil here, disc, and there you go for braking magnet. And for this one, this is the disc, pressure coil, current coil, braking magnet. You have dual bearing here. We can see that gear of trains. We have train of gears actually. We have different gears here connected to each other, what we call as train of gears. So if we see the connection here we have 8 terminals. Unlike the 2 element, we had 3 terminals, and these 8 terminals have two terminals reserved for each line. We can call R phase, Y phase, B phase, and neutral. So these two for R phase, these two for Y, these two for B, and these two for neutral. The terminals that for phases, we can see one is having junction here. So these junctions, the ones which have junctions are connected to the supply side. The one which do not have junctions will be connected to the load side. So left hand side will be the supply side. The right hand side will be the load side. Now we can see that supply, we have R phase in, and R phase is connected to the current coil 1, and the other terminal is going to the load side. That means R phase of the load is connected in series with the CC is connected in series with the R phase of the supply. And the pressure coil, you can see R phase is coming to the pressure coil and then it is going to the neutral. That means the pressure coil is excited by phase voltage, not the line voltage, just the way it was in two element three phase energy meter. For three element three phase energy meter, the pressure coils are excited by the currents proportional to the phase voltages. Phase voltages. Here PC1 is connected to VR, just VR, phase voltage of R phase. And you have this black wire going to the neutral. You can see a junction here. They both are shorted. So one is connected to the supply side, another one is connected to the load side, but they are shorted inside and there is a connection to the PC1 of element 1, pressure coil of element 1. Now once we are done with the pressure coil of element 1, current coil of element 1 thoroughly, studying the other two should be easy. So second one, we should be having current coils in series with the supply and load of B phase. So we'll see one is connected to this junction, that means to the supply, and to the current coil, we'll have it going to the load side. So it is connected in series, it is correct. And coming to the pressure coil, we have B and then N. That means pressure coil is excited by current proportional to the B phase voltage. So this is also correct, it is done. Coming to the third element, Y phase is going to the current coil and then it is going to the load side, it is correct. From junction here, again supply side Y phase is going to the pressure coil and then going to the neutral. That means this is excited by current proportional to the phase voltage of B phase. Hence, everything looks correct. So this is how, this is the internal circuit. We need not connect it. So we'll be having a box here. Let me draw the box so that it will be clear for you. Let me draw an orange box. Now, we'll see green. We can have energy meter like this. There will be a box still here. We can see only the terminals outside the box and the display unit. So we just have to, connect these terminals to either load side or to the supply side. That's all. So internal connection we have shown here. So outside we'll have connections very simple. We have to simply connect 3 terminals or 4 terminals to the load side and 4 terminals to the supply side. That's all. Hope you are clear with the connection, internal arrangement and connection diagram of 2 element as well as 3 element or 3 phase energy meters. So let us summarize this before let me clear all the drawings. So let us summarize. So we have seen that three-phase, three-wire system require two-element energy meter. The driving torque of the two elements should be exactly equal. The torques are equal for equal amounts of power passing through each element. This condition is checked by energizing the coils from single phase supply. Pressure coils are connected in parallel. Current coils are connected in series opposition with one reverse. This is meaning of series opposition. If there is light motion, then shunt magnet is adjusted till the speed is 0. Once it is checked okay, then we have to connect as per the diagram we have shown earlier. For a three-phase four-wire system, it requires three-element energy meter. So after concluding, let us have a small quiz for checking out the understanding. N conductor system requires how many number of measuring elements for measurement of total energy? Is it n minus 1, n plus 1, or none of the above? Answer is n minus 1. For three-wire system or three-conductor system, we go for two elements. For four-wire system, we go for three elements. So 4 minus 1. So for n conductor system, we go for n minus 1 number of elements. N minus 1. Let us go for the next question. The driving torque of the two elements in a two-element energy meter should be equal for equal amounts of power, unequal for equal amounts of power, equal for unequal amounts of power, none of the above. So what should be the answer for this? It should be equal for equal amounts of power. So we have to check it. For checking, we have seen how to connect it and how to adjust it if it is not equal. Let us see a simple question again here. A third one, three-phase, four-wire AC energy meter has three single-phase elements, two single-phase elements, one single-phase element, four single-phase elements. So for this energy meter, that means to measure three-phase, four-wire systems, three-phase energy. So how many elements should be there for that energy meter? So we have four conductors here. 4 minus 1 would be 3. So 3 single phase elements should be there. So that's what you see here. Have 3 single phase elements. Hope you are clear with what we have discussed in this video lecture. So after completion of this video lecture, the optimistic learning outcomes would be the listener should be able to draw a neat sketch of three-phase energy meter and explain its construction, even working, and draw the connection diagram of two-element three-phase energy meter, explain the construction and working of three-phase 3-element energy meter with a neat sketch. So, hope the session was useful. Thank you.